The king is dead. The news is spreading.
No! How did it happen?
Kela, my child, what is wrong?
Malia, I feel so lost.
You can always trust me.
I am Malia. I step forward to claim my place among you.
In the heart of ancient Africa, nestled between lush forests and flowing rivers, there existed a land where certain taboos held the power of life and death. The most sacred of these was the prohibition against touching another person's hair or cutting one's own. The people of this kingdom believed that hair was a divine gift, a connection to the spirits and ancestors. To violate this sacred bond was to invite the wrath of the gods, and the punishment was always death. In this land lived a woman named Malia, known throughout the kingdom for her beauty and grace. Yet her heart was heavy with sorrow. On the day her daughter was born, Malia's world was torn apart. Her husband, a warrior of great renown, had died in battle just hours before their child took her first breath. The same day, an ominous decree was issued by the king. The oracle had foreseen the birth of a girl child destined to change the kingdom forever. This child would grow up to marry the king's son and usher in a new era, overturning many of the kingdom's ancient laws. Fearing this prophecy, the king ordered that every girl child born that day be put to death. The soldiers, loyal and brutal, scoured the land, killing all the newborn girls. Malia, desperate to save her daughter, placed the infant in a small woven basket lined with soft cloths. With trembling hands, she carved a small M into the baby's scalp, a mark that only she would recognize. She chose the scalp because she could not bear to mar her daughter's perfect skin. Whispering prayers to the river gods, she placed the basket into the water, watching with tear-filled eyes as the current carried her only child away. The river, both a source of life and a harbinger of destiny, bore the baby far from her mother's arms and into the unknown. As Malia mourned her lost daughter, the kingdom's riverside remained tranquil, as if unaware of the tragedy it had just witnessed. Days later, the baby's basket was discovered by the wife of Baba, the king's trusted right-hand man. She was a kind-hearted woman who, upon seeing the baby, was struck by her beauty. Unable to resist, she convinced Baba to keep the child. They decided to raise the baby, whom they named Kela in secret, planning to introduce her to the world as their niece from the neighboring kingdom once she was older. For 5 long years, they kept her hidden, nurturing her with love and care. Meanwhile, the kingdom continued to thrive under the rule of the king, who remained unaware that the very child he sought to destroy was growing up within the walls of his trusted advisor's home. As the baby grew, her beauty only deepened, a beauty that would eventually draw the eyes of everyone in the kingdom. The king had 3 sons. The eldest 2 mirrored their father's cruelty and ambition, ruling with an iron fist whenever they were given the opportunity. They thrived on the fear they inspired in others and sought power above all else. The youngest son, an heir to the throne, per tradition, however, was different. Ninchi was a man of integrity, known for his kindness and sense of justice. The people loved him, even as his brothers and father grew envious of his popularity. The only person in the royal family who truly loved Ninchi was his mother, Maraika, who often feared for her son's safety. Despite the kingdom's prosperity, the taboo against touching hair or cutting it remained. It was believed that hair held the soul's essence, and to alter it was to tamper with fate itself. The people's fear of the gods' retribution was so deeply ingrained that no one dared break this ancient law. One day, Ninchi and his brothers went hunting in the dense woods that surrounded the kingdom. The forest was a place of shadows and secrets, where the spirits of the ancestors were said to dwell. It was in these woods that the brothers, driven by jealousy and greed, decided to rid themselves of Ninchi once and for all. As they stalked their prey, they turned on their younger brother, attacking him with vicious blows. Ninchi, skilled in combat, fought back fiercely, but he was outnumbered. Eventually, a heavy club struck his head and he fell to the ground, unconscious. Believing they had killed him, the brothers fled, leaving him for dead among the trees. An old woman who lived on the edge of the woods was gathering herbs when she stumbled upon Ninchi's motionless body. Recognizing him as the prince, she knew she had to act quickly. She took him to her humble cottage, where she tended to his wounds. However, the deep gash on his head posed a significant problem. The old woman knew that cutting his hair would seal his fate, not because of the injury itself, but because the penalty for cutting hair was death. For hours, she pondered how to treat the wound without violating the taboo. Finally, driven by necessity and compassion, she decided to break the sacred law. With trembling hands, she carefully parted Ninchi's thick hair, twisting small sections into braids. These braids allowed her to access the wound and apply healing herbs without cutting his hair. The process was slow and painstaking, but within days, the wound began to heal. Ninchi, who had been in a coma, eventually regained consciousness. When he awoke, he found the old woman by his side. She had already untangled the braids, leaving no trace of what she had done. Ninchi, weak but grateful, thanked her for saving his life. He offered to bring her back to the kingdom as a gesture of gratitude, but she refused, fearing the consequences of her actions. However, she agreed to accompany him once he assured her that they were only going to Baba's home, because he himself was still too traumatized to return to the palace. At Baba's home, Ninchi stayed hidden for the next couple of years as he reunited with Kela. Although they had been close as children, years of separation had made them strangers to each other. Yet, as they spent more time together, the bond between them rekindled. Kela, now a young woman, was struck by Ninchi's kindness and strength, while Ninchi was captivated by her beauty and spirit. Over time, their friendship deepened, blossoming into a love that neither had expected. Ninchi confided in Kela about his brother's treachery and his fear of returning to the palace. He longed to see his mother again, but dreaded facing his father and brothers. Baba, who had always treated Ninchi like a son, arranged a secret meeting between Ninchi and his mother, Marika. When Marika saw her son alive, she was overwhelmed with joy. She told him of the king's declining health, urging him to return and claim his rightful place as heir to the throne. Ninchi, however, was conflicted. He had no desire to rule, preferring instead to live a life of peace, far from the palace's intrigues. Kela, on the other hand, was deeply troubled by the injustice Ninchi had suffered. She admired his desire for peace, but she knew that the kingdom needed a just rule. The thought of one of Ninchi's cruel brothers ascending to the throne filled her with dread. Kela's heart burned with the desire to help Ninchi, but she felt powerless against the forces arrayed against them. One evening, as Kela sat alone in her room, she was visited by Malia. The two had grown close over the years, their bond as strong as that of a mother and daughter. Sensing Kelsa's turmoil, Malia asked her what was troubling her. Without hesitation, Kelsa responded, "I want you to braid all of my hair now." Malia was taken aback. She reminded Kelsa of the taboo and the grave consequences of breaking it. But Kelsa was resolute. She swore by the gods that she would protect Malia, promising never to reveal who had braided her hair. She was confident that Ninchi, now her beloved, would not allow any harm to come to them. Malia, though fearful, saw the determination in Kelsa's eyes. Silently, she respected her wishes and began braiding Kelsa's hair into intricate rows that resembled grains of corn. As she worked, she suddenly noticed something that made her heart stop. The faint mark of an M on Kelsa's scalp. It was the very mark she had carved so many years ago, the day she had sent her daughter down the river to save her life. Tears welled up in Malia's eyes as she realized that Kelsa was her long-lost daughter. Overcome with emotion, she stopped braiding and told Kelsa the truth. Kelsa, shocked at first, soon felt a deep sense of joy and relief. She had always felt a strong connection to Malia, and now she understood why. They embraced, their tears mingling as they cried together, finally reunited after so many years of separation. The next morning, the kingdom was abuzz with news of King Amalana's death.
The king is dead. The news is spreading.
No! How did it happen?
They say it was sudden. The kingdom is in shock.
We must be strong. The future is uncertain.
Yes, we must.
The funeral was to be held that day, and the whole kingdom was expected to attend. Kelsa, her hair covered by a scarf, accompanied Baba and Malia to the funeral. Ninchi, still wary of his brothers, initially refused to go. But after they left, he couldn't resist the pull of his duty and disguised himself in a hooded cloak, following them to the funeral grounds. The funeral was a grand affair, filled with the mourning and pageantry befitting a king. As the ceremony drew to a close, Kelsa requested to address the people. Her request was granted, as she was known to be the daughter of a nobleman and was loved by many for her kind heart and charitable deeds. Kelsa mounted the podium, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew that what she was about to do could cost her life. But she was driven by a sense of justice and a desire to change the kingdom for the better. Slowly, she removed the scarf from her head, revealing her intricately braided hair. A gasp of shock and horror rippled through the crowd. The taboo had been broken, and Kelsa had committed the gravest of sins. The new king, one of Ninchi's brothers, immediately ordered her to be seized. But before the guards could act, Malia stepped forward, her voice steady and clear. "I braided her hair," she declared, ready to face the consequences. At that moment, Ninchi, who had been watching from the crowd, could remain silent no longer. Throwing off his cloak, he shouted for everyone to stop. The crowd, recognizing the true heir to the throne, fell silent in awe. The royal guards, seeing Ninchi alive, hesitated, their loyalty to the rightful king clear. Ninchi's brothers were paralyzed with fear. Their plans to usurp the throne had crumbled before their eyes. Ninchi made his way to the podium, his presence commanding and resolute. As he stood beside Kelsa, he declared himself the rightful king and denounced his brother's treachery. The people, many of whom had long harbored doubts about the elder princes, cheered for Ninchi. He then turned to Kelsa and Malia, praising their courage and declaring that the ancient taboos, including the one against touching hair, were to be abolished. He proclaimed a new era of justice, compassion and equality, where the old laws would no longer bind the people in fear. To honor Kelsa's bravery and Malia's wisdom, Ninchi decreed that braids would forever be a symbol of strength, unity, and the bond between mother and child. He also revealed the truth of Kelsa's lineage, reuniting mother and daughter before the entire kingdom. Kelsa, now known as the Mother of Braids, was crowned queen, ruling alongside Ninchi with wisdom and love. Under their reign, the kingdom flourished. The people were no longer bound by fear of ancient taboos, and the new laws ensured justice and equality for all. The story of Kelsa and her braids became a legend, passed down through generations, reminding the people of the power of love, courage, and the strength to challenge even the most deeply ingrained traditions. And so, the kingdom prospered, guided by the principles of compassion and fairness. The braids that had once been forbidden became a symbol of unity and the bond between mother and child, a legacy that endured through the ages.